Hey everybody, it's Connor McSpadden from the Mean Boys Podcast. Hello, how you doing? Thanks for listening. This week, we've got a real train wreck of an episode, but it was a terrific train wreck at that. It was a lot of fun. We had Nat Baimel, Samir Suri, and of course Tom Goss manning the microphones. Keith Carey is out on the road. He'll be back shortly for next week's episode, the triumphant reunion. Haven't done one of these in a while. It was good to get back into the swing of things. We were all tired and all over the place, and it frequently devolved into a golden age of show business anecdotes on behalf of Samir, but it was great fun, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we enjoyed doing it. If not the most cohesive episode, it was very lively and free. A few fun things to tell you about. We have live shows coming up in San Diego and Fresno. You can see us during San Diego Comic-Con. I believe July 21st is the date. There are tickets available for that in the show notes. And to the surprise of myself and everyone, they're going quite fast. And I think we're going to have a really cool show on our hands. So please sign up for those while they're still available. And we may even be trying to coordinate some kind of fun meetup at Don Carlo's Taco Shop. Ooh, quick sidebar, we are sponsored by Don Carlo's Taco Shop in La Jolla, California. The finest Mexican food money can buy. Go to eataburrito.com for more information. And it is located, of course, conveniently right down the street from the La Jolla Comedy Store. Get yourself some food, get yourself a good comedy show, and just really enjoy the best California burrito I've ever had. And believe me, folks, I've had a fuckload of them. Also, a new announcement, I believe, on the podcast for the first time. We are doing a live podcast at a Denny's in Fresno because we are on brand. Yes, that is correct. We will be schlepping up the 99 freeway on July 23rd for a podcast at a Denny's in Fresno. And ticket information for that is as well available in the show notes of this program you're listening to. And we're going to have myself, Keith Carey, Tom Goss, Mr. Kyle Clark is rumored to make an appearance, who will also be appearing at Comic-Con. So it'll be a great evening with Kyle, who is a Hall of Famer Mean Boys guest. Other than that, please feel free to leave us a voicemail. I'm going to be playing a whole treasure trove of these that we've accumulated when Keith gets back, because very many of them require his input. But you can leave us a voicemail at 304-805-MEAN. We love to hear from you. As always, if you have any which of the following submissions, general notes you'd like to pass along, we love hearing from you. Any games you'd like to send in, anything at all, dick pics, etc. meanboyspodcast@gmail.com is the place to send them. Follow us on Twitter at meanboyspodcast. We tweet goofy shit. I always try to respond to everything on there, and I think I more or less do, and it always makes our day to hear from you guys, so we appreciate that very much. And on a more personal note, I just got back from a month-long tour in the Midwest, and I have to tell you, it was a tremendous amount of fun. And I'd like to thank all the people that I met out there for showing me a great time in the Heartland, and to the several Mean Boys fans I encountered. You were absolutely lovely, and you're everything that I would hope that the listeners of the show would be. And it was a great thrill for me to meet you in person, and I appreciate it more than I can express with my feeble vocabulary and my tired mind. It is now 2:30 in the fucking morning. Anyway, enjoy this ramshackle, ridiculous dumpster fire of gauche spectacularness. Oh yeah, review us on iTunes. Gotta forget, I'm a self-promoting company man to the very end. God damn it. I can't do anything without Keith. This person writes, each episode feels like it guarantees you a comfortable seat in hell. Keep it going, you devils. If you haven't left us a review on the iTunes, quite frankly, it's hurtful. It only takes a few seconds, helps us out quite a bit. And we're not your big name brand podcasts, all right? You're not hearing from Stamps.com. You're hearing from a guy that's wearing pajama bottoms that just drove here from Albuquerque, New Mexico this morning. So please, take a few seconds out of your day and make my day. Go leave us a review. And that's finally fucking it. Here's the show. Love you very much. Enjoy. Hey everybody, welcome to the Mean Boys Podcast. These colors don't run, but look at them burn. I'm Connor McSpadden.
I'm Tom Goss.
I'm Samir Suri.
And I'm
the guy who has opinions on every promotional flavor of Mountain Dew.
Okay.
I don't know. I was like, Nat's nerdy. I was in a car for 14 hours a day. I guess Live Wire versus Code Red seems like something you'd be heated about.
You seem dewy.
Thank you.
Like, in a good way.
Yeah, like in a Malcolm in the Middle kind of way.
I'll be honest, I'm much more opinion about Gatorade flavors, mostly in the fact that they all taste the exact same.
Yeah, it's true. You can get a coconut lime and a strawberry kiwi and be like, this just tastes like sports.
It tastes like green. That's your flavor.
Yeah.
Correctamundo.
Oh, the first appearance by the soundboard L. Jackson machine, Tom Goss.
You were finished.
I was, if only you ever were. Samir Suri joining us for the first time. Thank you for coming on, Samir. You barrage of contradictions.
Thank you so much for having me, darlings. A pleasure.
Yeah, with Samir was on the patio for all of 14 seconds before he started referencing models from the 60s that nobody has heard of.
Everybody has heard of Varushka. The only person who has not heard of Varushka.
I would have guessed that was a perfume.
And I would have gone with shitty cheese. So perhaps your theory does not hold water, but you are very welcome nonetheless. Dress like either the Havana drug lord or his pool boy mistress.
He looks like John Hammond in the Diversity remake of Jurassic Park.
I'm patient zero of whatever the next AIDS is.
You're just patient zero of a lot of bad movies. Yeah, so a Trump supporting Indian.
That's right.
Wow. Ooh, I got it on the first try. That means I get some white guy brownie points, correct?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
they
shit.
deserve to die.
That
I
was-
hope they burn it.
This is Tom the
That's
Indian.
not what I meant to press.
No, it's okay. We do.
What's bad about India?
Okay. Sorry.
Besides the food, am I right, fellas?
Whoops.
This is welcome to the Borscht Belt. I'm tired hour. I don't know why I'm trying to fucking extrapolate conversation where there is none. Abort the Mexican joke off. Wow, Tom got the sound drop on time. I'm very impressed.
Correctamundo.
Yes.
Okay.
God fucking damn it. Okay, I'll take us away this week. A fifth of male fish are becoming transgender due to chemicals from contraceptive pills being flushed down the toilet. The mutation will be portrayed in the new film Nemo Finds Himself.
I still have a vagina.
So this is the time when Tom is actually on top of his sound drops.
I know, this is lightning accuracy for the first time ever.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, we threw that down. I'm so.
We'll fix it in post. By which I mean I'm going to hit you with a post. Hey. What kind of Jackie Mason insult was I'm going to hit you with a post over there.
All right, I'll take the next one. The Tupac Shakur biopic All Eyes on Me was a critical and commercial flop, dashing the hopes of everyone hoping to finally see justice done to a murdered black man in America.
Biopic. I hear everyone saying biopic. I thought it was just one person.
Biopic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
that's
a
what I thought.
biographical picture.
Yes.
It makes only sense to call it a biopic.
It's one word, though. It's weird to say biopic if there's no dash in there. Comedy podcast,
You
everybody.
guys read too much. This is...
Yeah, I don't know what kind of weird hyphen shenanigans you're trying to.
See, I have hyphen opinions, not Mountain Dew opinions. I was a liberal arts major.
It
English
wasn't my
degree.
best opening slam. I haven't recorded one of these in like a month, okay? I've pretty much just been living on Cliff Bars and optimism. So how about you just work with me and accept that you're wrong? Samir, take it
Always
away.
like me. Oh.
On the grammatically correct side of the aisle, if no other.
Tel Aviv played host to the first
Already. You're not announcing an award show from 1948. Tel Aviv, the home of this year's Tony.
This is how I talk.
Yeah, please don't let me drag you down to my level of misanthropy. Take it away.
Tel Aviv played host to the first Britney Spears concert ever in Israel, marking the worst time a blonde has lured hundreds of Jews into one room.
Oh, I feel like we're in the laughing gas chamber now. Huh? Hey? Okay. Geez, I can't follow that. A vehicle crashed into a group of pedestrians at the Logan Airport. Fortunately, there were no fatalities and a much more agreeable showing than the scene earlier in the year at X-Men Origins Wolverine Airport. It's not good. Fun fact, I've seen neither of those movies.
A YouTuber accidentally killed her boyfriend after firing a gun through a book he was holding. When reached for comment, a hacky 80s comic I invented to camouflage the lazy punchline on this joke said, "I've heard of shooting videos before, but that guy went from YouTube red to YouTube dead. Kablooey!"
Oh!
Fats Baimel was a big hit. Dude, I love Fats Baimel. Let's give him a segment. That's the best about the thing about this show is it's just a repository for all the things you don't want to admit that you'd like to do.
Oh, I've never felt more alive than right now.
Now, Samir,
I've always
please,
wondered about vagina. No, I haven't.
please regale us with a mid-2000s pop culture reference ensconced in genocide.
The quarters of Thomas Jefferson's sex slave, Sally Hemings, have been found under a guest bathroom in Monticello. So Jefferson wasn't the last guy to take a shit on her.
I don't get the reference, but it's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
That was the
That was
toyed
the
with-
woman he had kids with. They found her quarters in Monticello under the tourist bathroom.
She didn't have quarters. They didn't pay slaves. Hey.
Wait, her living area or
Yeah,
money?
her
Yes,
living
Tom. That is
quarters.
one of the several meetings for quarters.
Ah, yes. I got lost in the different meanings of quarters and you guys are still staring at me. This is very uncomfortable. The Mexican Joker.
Tom doing a soft reboot of the segment to save face. Yeah, I looked at that article for a long time. I was like, I cannot think of a joke that I can in good conscience tell. So, Samir, props.
It's all right. I don't have a conscience.
I'm just seeing the hashtag just replace Connor with Samir trending across the meme board. Oh my God! It's like when he's in a good mood once a month. Am I right, everybody? Jesus Christ! He's the only man with an inverse period that McSpadden. Moving on. The word terrorism was misspelled on a bench at a newly opened Indiana War Memorial. The monument company that designed the memorial has pledged to electrocute the bench until it chooses to be spelled correctly. I was just in Indiana, and boy, did I make a lot of electrocution Mike Pence jokes, and boy, were none of them well received.
You don't say.
I made a point to make a Benghazi joke on every show of my Midwestern tour, and I think it worked 0.5 times. And I think that's only when I bombed and I said, look, can someone walk to my car? I got to go delete some emails. Which was a cheap cop-out, but whatever. Speaking of which, Nat, Fats Baimel.
Moroccan goats. But yeah. Moroccan goats have helped their region thrive by climbing trees to eat fruit and spitting out the seeds. Meanwhile, another horny, spindly brown creature, Samir Suri, helps West Hollywood thrive by swallowing fruit seeds.
The man responsible for most of the punished billboards you see. And now I take us to the poppy fields of Afghanistan, where 5 children were found beheaded. I haven't seen a brown child lose their head this badly since Tay Zonde.
It's because I'm gay.
Meanwhile, next door to Afghanistan, you just teed this up. Rural violence in Pakistan killed 12 people, including an 8-year-old girl. But don't worry, her husband still has 4 wives left over.
Correctamundo.
What I liked most about that was that you said every word in that sentence like Nathan Lane except for Pakistan, which you pronounced very Indian incorrectly.
Yeah.
Because I learned English. I did not speak a word of English until I started school. I grew up in a Hindi-speaking household. And I had to learn, from the people around me, but I also learned from reruns of The Nanny and Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh, that's your accent.
Wait, you didn't speak English and then you learned English from Everyone Loves Raymond?
Everybody Loves Raymond and The Nanny. So this is Fran Drescher meets Doris Roberts.
I don't know any of those people.
Doris Roberts was the fat mother on Everybody Loves Raymond, if you saw that show.
Okay, I know Raymond, but that's sorry. Okay, let's.
Sorry, I'm just doing an impression of our straight male audience. Believe it or not, I believe they hold a quorum in the podcast earbuds on which we're being heard. This is fantastic.
So I won't go into Olivia de Havilland.
Well, me and him will do a bonus episode where he explains gay things to me.
Like television is a gay thing?
I don't know what he's talking about. I
Straight
just
men
assume-
watched Everybody Loves Raymond.
I'm sorry.
there's a very
My dad watched Everybody Loves Raymond.
There's a very, very large number of things that you don't understand that aren't. I think it could very well be just because Samir's so much smarter than you.
That is not true.
Eminem's gay on our show. Eminem's gay on our show. Oh my God. Number 2.
Okay, that one didn't work.
Wait, just let me. All right. Oh, there we go. I was forgiven.
I don't know if you can see it, audience, but Fats Baimel is just wringing his tie right now. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. A couple that moved to Portland from California had their home and car graffiti with messages urging them to move back. In addition, the jingoistic vandals yarn bombed the mailbox and planted Monsanto crops in their herb garden. I just like xenophobic Portlanders, like this is the put a bird on its city, and you guys are like telling people to go back to where they came from, a state away.
Yeah.
I've heard Oregon outside of Portland is incredibly racist.
Yeah, so maybe it's like some country Oregons that were,
Yeah, maybe they got like lost.
Do even any non-white people live in Portland?
I know one, and he
A
said
white
he-
bitch
he's
friend of
it.
mine just got engaged up there. She's my age, 23 years old. She found herself, he looks like he must be rich if she's engaged to him.
With
And
every syllable of Samir's speech, he conveys volumes. It's my age. It was like, okay, the aspersions being cast.
Why does every
Anyway, go on, sorry.
Why does every one of your sentences sound like a one-man show opening?
He commands the stage, sir.
Summertime in the Bronx.
I rate him
Everybody's
five stars.
the dulcet tones of Ray Romano teaching me to butcher my new native tongue. Speaking of butchering native tongues, some joke about Palestine or something, Nat.
Better. A Kentucky independent professional wrestler has gone viral for using the heel gimmick, the progressive liberal. He competes in Black Lives Ladder matches. His signature move is the Wote Slam, and every time he's pinned, he demands the ref do a recount and shouts, "Bernie would have won." I had to shave those references down from about 50. I was so excited when I saw this story.
Yeah, I saw it too, and I just thought it was appalling the way Jill Stein handed that other guy a steel chair.
When he punches Nazis, he stomps his foot.
oh, it's me.
Okay.
C'est moi.
Oh, wait, just do your vocal exercises beforehand.
Indian faggot Leo Varadkar became head of Ireland in June, proving that if you're drunk off your ass, even I can look respectable. No,
You
no
just made
good.
me snot out my nose. A fucking nasal spit take. That was so enjoyable, but so exhausting. Like what I can only assume sex with you must be like. Do you understand like what it's like being railed while someone quotes Chaucer? Like,
More of an Ibsen guy.
you're speaking Tom Slayton language.
Remember, it had a gobbler. I'm not going there.
Oh, Canterbury males. Not bad at all.
The best sex I had, I was picked up on a street corner in the South Bronx, and I.
Act 1, Scene 1. Spotlight. The best sex I ever had. Titters from the middle-aged
spotlight
white woman
hits
in the
me, and then
curtain.
I turn around.
The best
to
part
face
is
the
I've already
audience.
heard this story, and you want to hear this story.
Oh, yeah, I have
Continue.
not heard it at all.
I was on my way from bar to bar. I stopped at a liquor store, picked up some cigarettes. It should have been a movie. I was leaning against a lamppost, having the cigarette. This guy walks up to me, Dominican guy, and within 30 seconds, I have no idea he's a fag. Within 30 seconds of conversation, he invites me up to his apartment. I still don't quite know. I think it's the South Bronx. Probably it's some drug shit. I don't really do the drugs. I've done the pot a couple of times. I did coke once.
The
a terrible
420s.
experience. It was No, because it was in India, so it was African Coke. It wasn't South American. It was not chic. But I went up to this guy's apartment, and the power was out in his building. And he just grabbed me, and then that's when I knew it was sex. Things I did not know I could do with my body, because he was closeted, so he had all that anger.
Wait, did he rape you, or did you agree to this?
Oh, no, I agreed. To,
okay,
I
didn't... Okay.
things I didn't know I was agreeing to until they started, and then I was like, oh, you can't do that. Oh, oh, okay. Oh, keep doing that.
Okay.
So it was that situation. Then afterwards, I found out he was closeted, because we were hanging out on his couch afterward, and he said, you know, I like the Indians, but I don't know if they'd ever let me marry one of their daughters. And then, no, if you knew how accurate this was, he walked me back to the bar afterwards. The South Bronx is the last bastion of chivalry in America.
Really?
He walked me to the bar. I'd never even been with a man who walked me to his own front door before.
This is the best audiobook I've ever heard.
Yes.
I'm gripped.
Do most of your hookups end up like that, or is it just...
Thank you for doing the whirly bird hand motion for hookups.
Gather, you know? I don't know.
There's not
most of
that
your
much
dick
space in
lassos
my
go down?
asshole yet.
What?
It still needs stretching. I'm not
I feel like I could do a whole showgirl cabaret if I was anally birthed from you. No, I'm teasing, of course. I have to imagine you keep that shit tight. Your attitude wouldn't allow for it. You tell me someone could come strutting in here with Britney Spears beheading jokes and not have a tight shit pussy.
Oh, I couldn't fit my pinky up there right now. Which is going to be a segment later on.
I do the anal kegels.
That's a thing?
What kind of coffee is that? I'm confused.
The Mexican joke-off is completely derailed at this point.
Oh, no, that's right. We still have one more. Oh, let's go.
We have one more piece. I
Oh,
could go on for
boy.
days, believe me. A suicide bomber dressed as a woman killed 14 people in an Iraqi refugee camp. Iraqi officers inspecting the carnage blamed the tactic on the new ISIS strategic coordinator, Bugs Hamid al-Bunhadi. It's the second ISIS Looney Tunes joke in the history of the show, and there will be more to come. Stop doing Looney Tunes shit if you don't want Looney Tunes jokes.
Gelatinous sea creatures have washed up along the California shore. Researchers noted after listening to last week's Best of Mean Boys episode, these amorphous sea pickles became washed up right after Joe Dosh left the podcast.
Where are the turtles?
Oh, man.
I told you I'd have chances to use that.
I'm changing my Twitter bio to amorphous sea pickle. That's really what I am. That's God, Jesus Christ! It's like Gore Vidal has been reincarnated and overcooked. So it seems like something you would say, Samir.
North Korea's test fired another ballistic missile today.
Wait, is this the fashion police like world news?
Let him finish.
Connor teed this one up, too. Pyongyang's been ejaculating more than I do when Mike Pence electrocutes me.
The Sklar brothers asked you this when we roast battled. I'm going to ask you again. Why do you sound like my Jewish aunt?
You saw The Nanny, right? I explained this to you.
Oh my God! I feel I found my perfect enemy. I'm your William F. Cuckley.
Which is amazing. He's a Trump supporter, and he gets to call you cuck kind of by doing that.
Yes. I don't care. Call me whatever you want. Just don't ever speak like a normal human being, and you're fine.
If you saw the method acting that I
thought you were
have
just
to
going to say
do,
meth.
Yeah. As did I. If you saw the meth that they snorted before they had to get into this tight shit pussy, then by golly, you'd think Breaking Bad was a farce.
No, it's when I go to India, because you can't be this in India. This is illegal in India. You can't. No, it literally is illegal in India. So you have, the voice goes down. I do, it takes me a week to get it properly, but the voice goes down. The legs go apart. My legs were crossed before; they're uncrossed now. My posture goes. The S's get less sibilant, and then this is where we are.
Wow, that was honestly very sad and beautiful
was like watching
No, it was because I
Pokemon
was like, this
balls.
man has to repress who he is to go to his native land, and it's funny because it's like all this like existential pain, and you just look like an uncastable version of that dude from Big Bang Theory, just meek and uncompelling.
You know something? Everybody is supposed to be upset by the depiction of Indians on that show. And everyone I know in India loves that show. My cousin Raghu in Delhi says to me over and over again, I wish I had Raj's accent, man. I'm like, no, sweetheart.
Well, you can send him a care package of Bazinga messenger bags filled with, I don't even know a gay
That
enough
was like
book.
when they got mad at Selena Gomez when she did, she wore the Indian clothes, and everyone was like, this is cultural appropriation. How dare you do this?
What, was it
and
just
my
white
mother,
people?
Yeah, it was just white people, because my mother was saying, thank God white people finally realized how gorgeous our clothes look.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
See,
Like, that's
what's Ariana Grande? Who did this again?
Selena Gomez. did
Selena
this.
Gomez got it right.
You know what's weird?
Ariana Grande was smarter with the publicity, though.
Right.
To get a terrorist attack and then go right back to town with a concert.
Yeah, was that all
Okay,
intentional?
well, you go from like weird, like inspiring, like third world, like globalist success story to like the manager of the Runaways that fucks Joan Jett, against her will in one fucking flick of your wrist.
I'm gonna explode. I've never had so many references. I don't know. This is.
Tom's got a lot of research to do.
I
after this.
don't know.
Did you ever
Three
hear
of
the song "I Love Rock and Roll"?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
that
it's
was
by that
Selena.
curly haired dude with the
Was
loves
that
ice cream.
Selena Gomez?
It's Joan
Wait,
Jett.
did you just ask if
Tom, you look like we're doing this podcast in Portuguese. It's what you look like.
He's stroking his goatee.
Yeah, I did. I'm befuddled. I don't know. That,
All right, well, I'm going to take Tom over to imdb.com for a few minutes. We've stopped telling jokes about 5 minutes ago. That was a lot of fun. The Mean Boys will be right back. The Mean Boys podcast is back after a failed attempt at a segment that's going in the Mean Boys vault. I'll say this. In a room full of the people you heard earlier, we found it too upsetting. And this is after listening to a good 15 minutes of Samir's Bronx anecdotes. So, I'm kidding. Those were lovely. This next game comes to us
I
from...
do feel like we bonded though.
We sure did.
We did, yeah, because we all found like...
trauma, yeah.
Samir said to me before we started recording, I have no conscience. And then we quickly found out that we all did.
Say what you will about the Mean Boys the show, but you will find your line very quickly in this show.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, okay, maybe I do find out what I believe by
Yeah.
by exploring these things.
I thought I was really pushing the envelope, but then I done this show and I'm immediately uncomfortable.
It's almost as if satire needs to have a very clear target, or else you're just joining the ranks of that which you wish to mock.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's a fun thing with Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
It would have been good if it was funny. We couldn't be funny because we were still like,
Yeah,
the
I think that's
fuck
the
is-
bigger thing.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a line.
Yeah, I
we
think
were just
the
so
line is-
taken aback.
We were
Yeah.
Couldn't
sensory
figure out what to
overload,
say,
and
yeah.
maybe we'll do something with it again at some point. But I'll just say it was a Hell's Box seat in which we were looking at some music videos from a pop punk Nazi parody outfit. I won't name them.
what we learned is that what's really terrible is pop punk. So I'm just
Indeed. I mean, if and I said it during them, but it bears repeating. These people were like, "Look, we want to take down the Zog machine, but we don't want to rock too hard."
yeah.
We look. No one gets mad when "Damn It" comes on the radio, but I mean, let's capitalize off that listenability and tell these kids what's going on with the banks. Anyway.
You fill in the blanks.
This game
listeners.
comes to us from a comedian who I'm sure is going to be absolutely thrilled to be associated with this guilty preamble.
Let's play the second banana.
Yeah,
right now.
let's get a clean edit point in case I decide to cut all of that too. No, this game comes to us from Paige Wesley, a very funny comedian. You can follow her on Twitter at Paige Wesley. The game is this a Jean-Claude Van Damme film or actual U.S. military operation? It's harder than you may think. And she writes, and because finding out that Tom had thought he had been rejected from a school founded by Jean-Claude Van Damme, this is the literal funniest thing on earth. Here is this. So here we go. Tom,
I wasn't as off as you guys think I was. I wasn't as right as I thought I was. I'm not going to get into it now.
Oh, do though.
Tom, for someone who abhors politics, you argue so much like a politician.
I think he funded it, is what it was.
Prove this in any meaningful way.
Okay, I will. Text me. I am a very forgetful person.
I don't need to text you to find out how wrong you are. I can go to sleep at night knowing very well how much you are.
For those of you who forgot or never listened to the episode, Tom believes he went to a school that was run by Jean-Claude Van Damme,
It was founded or funded. His kid went there some shit.
He finded it.
Or his,
he caught a
sister.
flounder there.
famed Guile.
It is connected to the Van Dams. I don't know how.
You know, there's multiple Van Dams. There's not one karate family that's dominating.
I'm talking about the Chop Chop Van Dams.
Jean-Claude of the Chop Chop Van Dams.
I know this because I had no idea who Jean-Claude Van Damme is, and people had to explain it to me at the school. There's a correlation.
Okay, Jean-Claude Van down by the river. Let's play the game. Let's start off. Maximum Risk. Is that a Jean-Claude Van Damme film or an actual U.S. military operation?
I want to say it's a Van Damme movie.
All right.
So do I. Why would you call a military operation Maximum Risk?
I don't know. I mean, I could see a Samir Suri sexual encounter. But
I think it was I played one Call of Duty game thing, and I think there was a task called that or something like that.
okay.
So I'm going to go the real bombs. The military.
You didn't even do the Mexican joke out this week. Ayo.
Bad at things. I'm bad at things.
This was a Jean-Claude Van Damme film. They didn't teach you that at the Van Damme Academy, did they, Tom?
Go there.
Okay. You did? Wait, what?
I went there. I didn't attend school there
Oh, okay.
because they wanted to put me in like
you were
second
loitering there?
No, I was checking
you were
out
a
the
vagrant
school.
there? Oh, okay.
Actually, it might have been Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I was leaning up against a light post on a summer night that was as hot as the Puerto Rican that approached me from the shadows.
and then a
It
man
was
came
nearly
in.
exactly a year ago now. Oh, memory.
Wait, that was your first gay experience? Was it a year ago?
Oh, no, just that night. That wasn't my first. I said that was my best. My first was was with a bus driver in his bus.
Was he driving?
Wait, what?
It was okay.
All of your gay encounters read like a murder mystery.
No, his name on Grindr, I was BJ in my car. I thought I was going to be given to BJ in a car. His car pulls up to the corner we're supposed to meet on. It's a bus.
That's awesome.
There's more room.
Were there more people
We're
on it?
good colored people. We moved to the back. It was 2 a.m.
Wait, there was good colored people?
He was a black bus driver.
Okay. I thought you said that. I'm just picturing a bunch of brown faces on this bus, and I'm like, how is this adding to the ambiance at all?
No, it was like 2 a.m. There were no people on, and it wasn't a public bus.
Well, gay
either.
people are people, Samir. You've got to get. I know you can get down. I'm sorry.
Yeah, take that, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Anyway, in this movie, a policeman finds out that he had a twin brother who was killed in a violent altercation. He takes his twin brother's place, inheriting his problems, and his girlfriend, determined to expose corruption and collusion between the FBI and the Russian mafia. Prove to me that's not something that happened to Tom on summer vacation. I dare you. The next one, Urgent Fury, Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, Samir Suri sexual encounter, or military operation.
I'm going to say military operation again.
It's missing an R, darling. He was a furry, and I must say, underneath that...
No, I'm going with I'm going with like 6 of my sexual encounters over the past 2 months.
Urgent Fury. I mean,
Urgent Fury, yeah.
Yeah. You're like, look, I'm not one for the wafy, but I mean, this guy's in my neighborhood. And
Is coming.
You always got to plan your escape route.
Urgent Fury is actually played by Samuel L. Jackson in the Day Avengers parody.
I don't know how I didn't see that coming. Has everybody guessed?
I'm going to say military.
It's a military operation. It is the U.S. invasion of Grenada.
Grenada
Oh,
Hills.
Grenada! I must tell you, in the fall of okay, it's always a season and a somewhat exotic location, and then an ethnicity, and then an orifice, and then you've got yourself a Samir Mad Lib.
It was the winter solstice in Kilimaju.
In the winter of
Kilimaju
2001.
is one of those songs that we listen to in the segment that's not being released.
It's late. I tried thinking of a silly sounded place.
This is really like old Mean Boys, where we used to record at 1 a.m. and we were all just undercaffeinated and bitter and just like, I don't know, you're fat, whatever. This week, a kitten died, and frankly, good. All right, the next one, Shining Express.
Wait, so it's the name.
Were the words that first came to my mind when that bus rolled around the foggy corners of... It's just so much fun. I'm completely infected by it.
But when I stumbled out of the Shining Express.
And the game is Jean-Claude Van Damme movie title or military operation?
Movie title or military operation.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
when I sauntered off the Shining
I'm going to go to The
Express.
Shining. The Shining
the
is
saunter of shame.
Jean-Claude is Shining.
Okay.
That one.
Military.
Samir.
Jean-Claude.
That is a military operation. The evacuation of American citizens from Liberia.
Oh.
Ooh, fun.
Shining Express. All right.
I'm 3 for 3 so far. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Okay, Nat. All right, Mountain Dew, Nat Baimel.
I'm going to love it 100% of the time.
All right, the next one, Steel Tiger.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's actually a Mountain Dew flavor.
That is the cologne of a man who had his way with Samir. God damn it.
That's the lube he used.
Steel Tiger. You make a gay targeted lube called Steel. Have I ever told him when I took gay boner pills on this podcast?
No, Do you have the Mr. Soon to be living the rest of his short ass life in agonizing pain rapist here line? Because that one.
What?
Oh, from
No,
Pulp
from Pulp
Fiction.
Fiction?
Yeah, from Marcellus Wallace.
Yeah.
You said it to Zed.
Well, anyway, I started taking.
What was the line?
Well, you're looking.
Go ahead.
Big Rame says it.
First of all, hi, Mom. Second, no, I started taking these boner pills, and I was at the sex store, and I was looking at the different boner pills, and I was like, well, I don't really know how to pick out a good one, you know. So I'm looking at them, and I see one called Steel Rod, and there's a guy on the cover, and he's real buff, and he's got some abs, and it's just a torso
Was
shot.
he black?
Not black. He was like just a tan, you know, like I don't know, white to Hispanic,
Vague.
you know, torso. And I was like, man, that guy looks like he's got a killer dick, you know. So I should like to have that guy's dick. So I take him, and then I was like, I should look up the ingredients to these, you know. After I'd bought several bottles, and then I look online, and I'm like, oh, this is straight up for gay guys.
Wait. Did you figure out it was for gay guys based on the ingredients?
No,
What were the ingredients that tipped you off?
glitter at first.
Come and glitter.
No, it was just this website. It's like
Just
the
a
number.
direct HIV transfusion.
Through my Ethernet cable. It was it was ridiculous. No, it just was like, it was like the #1 gay dick pill for gays by gays in your gay butt. Like it was like they mentioned it in the marketing materials.
I'm glad it was delivered with Keith's third voice he can do. But
We miss you. The podcast has a lot of dead air. And not just because we don't have air conditioning. What do you guys think about Steel Tiger?
oh yeah, this game.
That makes me cough, and I don't smoke 9 packs of cigarettes a day like Keith, so I have no idea who he does.
I mean, it sounds like the fighting style from Bloodsport, so I'm gonna go with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Samir.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, I guess.
I'm going to switch things up. I'm going to go, this was when we decided to bomb China or something.
Very close. The bombing of Laos, Tom.
Oh.
So are you Chinese or Japanese?
Steel Tiger sounds like some sort of whimsical general deciding, like, this sounds Oriental kind of something, he'd say. I lost it there. You guys know what I was trying to say? Because otherwise it could sound kind of racist.
It's late, everybody. we're doing this because we know you demand a certain level of satisfaction on Tuesday mornings.
Yeah, that's what I said to Nat. I was like, this is specifically a podcast for people that don't have a barbecue to attend today. So God bless America. All right,
Speaking as the general when I said that, just to clarify.
What? The general, as in of the military rank, or just in general?
No, the insurance guy. Yeah, the general. We should continue. Love you guys.
All right. Sudden death. What? See, you hang out with Samir for 30 minutes, and all of a sudden I feel like I've been in an absinthe sauna. Sudden death. This is the last one. Is this a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie or a U.S. military operation?
This is for sure both.
Yeah, I was going to say Operation Sudden Death sounds fantastic.
Is both an I'm going to go Jean-Claude.
There's a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. A former fireman takes on a group of terrorists holding the vice president and others hostage during the 7th game of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals.
Whoa!
That sounds like a fun movie.
Hockey's in this movie?
I actually knew that, but I for sure thought sudden death would have also been a military operation.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I guess not enough hockey.
Well, you know who wins on that one? The people that didn't listen and spent time with their friends and family today.
You know, they could also listen to it on the 5th, though, right?
I do, yes, Tom.
Okay.
I'm very aware of the permanent nature of this medium.
Sweet.
Okay.
If only I'd been more aware of how permanent this was.
Apologies to Paige Wesley for trudging through that. I think let's go out and get some air, regroup, and close out the show. We'll be right back.
I had fun.
All right, everybody. The Mean Boys podcast is back. To close out the show, as we always do, with a round of our favorite game. Which of the following? I was gonna, you know
Nailed
what?
it.
I was gonna say, Tom, make sure you have the sound effect pulled up, and I was like, I don't want to be patronizing to Tom. I always do this to him. We give him such a hard time, and you know, it's yeah. This game comes to
There's
us.
only like a 3-second buffer there.
By the way, I also like that we took a break on the patio for 15 minutes. You supposedly regroup, and we've come back ramshackle as ever. This game comes to us from @DeathToTheFilth on Twitter, who I had the great pleasure of meeting in person at one of my shows in Indianapolis.
That's him.
Yes, a bisexual man who complained about the zoning laws that had closed down his favorite leather bar. Next to his wife, of course. And then we had a lovely chat about Bitcoin and other things like that. And he was everything I'd want a Mean Boys fan to be, and I had a great time meeting you, and I appreciate it very much for you coming to the show and for all the games you sent. This one is one after my own heart. I can't play it, obviously, because I would sweep it. This is which of the following is not a real presidential nickname? Ooh. Fun stuff. So we're going to start off round number one, which of the following is not a real presidential A, his rotundity for John Adams. B, Little Jemmy for James Madison. C, Sir Cherry Tree, George Washington. Or D, The Last Cocked Hat for James Monroe. Now, these are not Samir Suri grinder matches, so keep that in mind. Got a message from his rotundity 666.
Can I hear A and
You
B
uppeth.
again?
The bus driver is still in my diary as Sir Cherry Tree.
Sir Cherry Tree would be an excellent name
Sir Cherry Popper Tree.
for a gay one-man show.
I have a gay question, but I don't know if it's appropriate.
Oh, who gives a shit? Go.
Okay, aren't hemorrhoids a problem ever?
Not for me yet, but probably
but
they will
like
be.
that's a thing that does happen.
That does happen.
It's like a gay period, kind of.
I mean, Tom once
no,
told...
the gay period is actual. I'm not
Diarrhea?
going there.
okay.
Anyway, no. Tom once said to me, he's like, I was like, well, do you think I'm gay? And he was like, how do I explain? I think if you're gay, you don't know you are yet. Just funny because I had hemorrhoids all throughout middle school and some of high school, so I don't know. I got the gay disease. Do you get that from butt fucking?
the hemorrhoids?
Yeah.
Well, it just
I don't. It
happens to
hasn't happened to
everybody.
me.
I don't know. I'm
So
just
I
not
don't
saying you,
know.
but I'm
I
saying
mean,
like in general. Because
I don't know. I can't say I've ever looked into it. There are so many other things you have to worry about.
That's like saying, like, oh my God, you're going to Normandy? Aren't you going to? You're going to get dirty. Oh my God, it's the wretched, the ash. So his rotundity, little
You're going
Jemmy.
to Syria. The wind is awful.
Straight Samir in Syria. Hey, yeah, I just love the Quran. I think it's a terrific book.
Oh my
ISIS
God.
should have waited to kill the faggots until after designing the flag.
What? That was a Tom thing because I didn't even begin to understand that.
I actually understood that entirely. It's because they would have. He got
The
it.
flag would not have been as ugly as it is. At last.
That's why you want more gays to be alive, so they can design the proper.
They would have put some use. After that, throw us off the building. Who gives a shit? What use are we going to be to the war effort? Floating on a barge in the middle of the Mediterranean. You guys, it's hot.
Are you going to feng shui a death camp? Like, what are you going to do? Okay. So, yeah, we've often talked about
Hang
this show.
streamers on the building on the way down.
Oh my God, Samir. Oh man.
I give him a high five for that. That was funny.
Between you and ISIS, you've set gay people back quite a lot. We often talk on the show. Like, it's really a shame that they have such good mastery of aesthetics. You know, like they make everything look very chic and
Yeah,
and
they
slick.
have
Wait, ISIS or gay people?
the
Both.
men.
Yeah, I mean,
men look chic.
if you ask me, is there any difference? No, I'm kidding. Because like Nazis, like they had the cool uniforms and shit, and ISIS was like, oh man, those guys look like cool bad guys in a fucking Tom Clancy novel, and you're like, oh, they're very real.
Yeah, the men look good, but you try accessorizing a burqa. It's not gonna. You can't.
You can bedazzle it.
Samir, I'm petitioning a Mean Boys video sketch in which you play the burqa fashion designer making his debut
The
show.
only way I can do drag, I've always said this, because I can't. Like, if I had like an hour show, if drag were to go well, if I shaved right before I went on stage, I would have a 5 o'clock shadow halfway through.
Yeah, you could
So
hang
what
your
I
sexual
need to
conquest
do-
from your eyebrows. I mean, you're a very hairy man.
I need to do drag in full burqa, but with a thigh slit up the side, and like sexy fishnet stockings and high heels, and just flash legs. Every
Like
so
Princess Jasmine.
You're gonna be the Mia Khalifa of drag.
I believe in you.
Okay, so presidents, his
yeah.
rotundity, Little Jemmy, Sir Cherry Tree, or the Last Cocked Hat. Which of the following is not a real presidential nickname?
His rotundery sounds like a rotisserie chicken, but I think it's real because it's a nonsense.
Okay, wait.
he wasn't that fat, was
Samir,
he?
be a dear. Could you hold down the button on Tom and restart him? Because
Here's a pencil.
here's a pencil.
Was John Adams that fat that they would call him his rotundity?
I mean,
I
for
don't
that,
know. That's
for
the
that
game.
time. 'Cause I mean, like,
I bet it means
now-
wealthy or something. Do you
No,
guys
it
know
means
what this?
fat. Rotund means fat.
But like you're like I think judging that by today's standards of fat.
Right,
whereas
but
back
his
then-
is a
That's
rap
right,
word
before
that
high
means
fructose
money.
corn syrup. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
I'm saying B.
I'm gonna say Sir Cherry Tree because I feel like they would hate the English and not want to associate themselves with it.
with aristocracy.
Wait.
Ooh, very interesting
Who was
theory.
Cherry Tree?
George Washington.
Okay, yeah, I'm going B.
Wait, he's the dollar guy? All right, everyone's guess. The answer
I'm going his rotundity, yeah.
the fake one is C, Sir Cherry Tree.
Oh.
You know,
Baimel's
that
deduction right on the money.
fucked me up because who's the guy who chopped the apple down or whatever?
It's George Washington.
That was
chopped down
Adam in
cherry
the
tree.
Garden of Eden, and he was president of Godmeric.
I think it was John Adams. He's like,
No, that was
No,
George
Washington
Washington.
chopped down the cherry tree.
Well, that
then
didn't actually happen, but that's the
told the
popular
truth.
story.
Yeah,
Dude, it's Adam and Eve, not John, Adam, and Steve.
Wait. So you're telling me this the childhood story I had about a president learning how to not lie was bullshit?
Probably.
Let's relate to the
fuck
listeners what Tom
America.
said on the patio about politics. He said,
yeah.
of presidents, why can't we just go back to old people I don't know?
I stand by that.
Brilliant in its stupidity. Yeah. Round number 2, which of the following is not a real presidential nickname. A, King Mob, Andrew Jackson. B, Little King John, for John Quincy Adams. C, General Mum, for William Henry Harrison. Or D, His Accidency, for John Tyler.
Did John
I
Tyler?
love his accidency. I hope that's true.
Did he shit himself a lot?
No, that was Lord Diapersworth, which was Grover Cleveland. No.
Sir Accidency is too. That's too much. It's too real to me. It's too out there. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to make some bathtub toast, and now I got all these mind-reading powers.
Well, like also, if that was his reputation, who would be
that
like?
wasn't really why, Tom.
Well, what does accidency mean?
He became president by accident because the last guy died.
Okay, so I'm saying that
Also-
one's real because you can explain it.
I also like the idea that it's not general like the military sense, but in general, like just general accidency, like dropping shit and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like he's just very clumsy.
Well, it's actually it's his accidency and General Mum for William Henry.
General
I just imagine some like big
he was so
footy and
quiet 'cause
old
he
man
died.
just tripping over everything, and they're like, "Oh, it's his accidency," and then we're gonna vote for him.
I'm going to cast Tom in like a Mr. Bean era, like turn of the century comedy or whatever.
Oh, pay the Brit. Yeah. So I'm gonna.
I feel like Tom is Mr. Bean if he spoke.
A friend of mine has a collection of old political memorabilia and has a pin from Nixon's campaign against Kennedy in
Mr.
1960.
Bean.
I like Dick.
And no, it wasn't that yet. Or I don't know if this was before or after that. But the slogan was, "You can't lick our dick."
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
And then after he changed, Doris Kearns Goodwood told this story. He had changed his slogan to "Nixon's the one." I think I'm telling this right.
No, Nixon's my man. I actually have a T-shirt with that on it.
Nixon's my man. Maybe that was one, but there was another one called "Nixon's the one," apparently. And then JFK, at one of his events, had women dressed up as pregnant nuns holding signs that read "Nixon's the one."
Swag. He had swag. That was the 1960s version of a wrestling gif. Digressing a bit back to the Mr. Bean thing, Tom, you really do with words.
I thought we were digressing back to the fucking game.
Oh no, I just
That's not a
I thought it was something
digression,
too
that's the
funny not
point.
to share. Is Tom, you do with words what he did with slapstick. You do verbal slapstick, where you're just slipping and banana peels coming out of your skull. So is it A, King Ma for Andrew Jackson, B, Little King John for John Quincy Adams, C, General Mum for William Henry Harrison, or D, his accident C for John Tyler?
Let's say Mumford or whatever. Mumfordy, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with General Mum, too, because I just like it the least. I don't know which one of these
I'm
is
going to go
correct.
with A.
All right, the fake one.
mean, was
B, Little King John.
Really? Oh, that would have been good,
I
though.
literally wanted to say that, but thought there's no way they're going to try to trick us twice with British stuff.
Yeah, that's a well-made game.
I mean, Mum is also British.
This is a man who knows the ins and outs of the Bitcoin exchange market. So
Was
I mean,
he matronly or something? Why was he called Mum?
I don't know, Tom.
He died really
He,
fast. so he
believe it
was
or not,
quiet.
he did not add to his efforts a list of footnotes for me to peruse.
Well, then all this is speculation.
Actually, in England, it's bit pence. Good night, everybody. That's Baimel.
Well, I'd rather have bit pence than bit Trump, am I? The 25th Amendment. Number 3, All Martin Van Buren edition.
Who's that? I don't know who that is.
This is the president, Tom. Context clues.
An American one?
Yes.
Yes.
He was the president of Swaziland.
He was the president of the Oprah Book Club Regional Virginia chapter.
What was it? Martin Lawrence? What the fuck was his name?
No, he's the shut up.
No, what was his?
your mouth.
Martin Van.
Yeah, he was elected right after he did Black Knight, Tom.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Okay,
It was Jean-Claude Van Buren.
this is worse than when there was one about Godzilla, and there's and it was like Space Godzilla was one of them. Tom's like, well, I don't get it. Yeah, I didn't think there was this many
There
Godzillas.
can't be that
What the
many.
fuck is Space Godzilla? And it's like it's
Yeah.
Godzilla in space, Tom.
What does Mothra Van Buren have to do with
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dad. What is...
He's mocking you. If you had any access to reality around you, you would be able to fucking
No, I don't know who Mothra or Van Buren is. He combined the two, still in the realm of what the fuck are we talking
I'm
about?
telling you,
would-
and you don't have to suspect me of ulterior motives.
But
It's
he-
1 in the morning.
All right, so he was...
Remember, like, I'm rubber and you're glue? Like, Tom is like that, except it's stitched to him, but he can't reach it, so he doesn't even notice.
So was
The
this
game is
guy-
I'm stupid and you're persistent.
This was... I'm guessing he was president back in suspenders times.
Okay. Earlier, Tom was Matt referenced something from 400 BC.
Tom is as much a parody of himself as I am.
Outstanding. No, Tom, Nat said something about 400 BC, and Tom's like, "Yeah, that's when they only had rocks, right?" And we're like, "No, they had bronze."
They
He's like,
had
"It was mostly
mostly
bronze."
rocks.
Yeah, but we still have mostly rocks. The world is a rock.
Right, but not as tools.
If you're asking me, America's trying to do a rock with this fascist government. That's Baimel. We're breaking out to the. We're doing the fucking.
So who is this
Smothers
Martin
Brothers.
McShunder or whatever the fuck his name
You
is?
could not be you're playing a game of telephone where you're
can't-
eavesdropping
what
on
is his
yourself.
What are
name?
the categories? Connor.
You've exhausted a gay man. All right, do you understand? This man is an amyl nitrate popping fucking Vicodin absinthe fiend, and you've managed to do what a million dicks could not.
What is his name?
Martin Van Buren.
What a dumb name. All right, this guy ruled America. I get it. Continue. What is his stupid
This is
nicknames?
but moments ago, you implored us to go back to old people you don't know. No one could be older than a man who's been dead for 150 years, and you could not know him less, and yet you're still protesting.
I just don't like it's a
Connor,
dumb
I
name.
beg you.
Just give me the categories.
Okay. The category, All Martin Van Buren edition. A, the Great Boar. B, Martin Van Ruin. C, the Little Magician. Or D, the Careful Dutchman. It's a sex position that I wouldn't advise attempting.
I'm gonna say
I wouldn't advise the Little Magician either.
I Dutch ovened my girlfriend the other day, and it was one of those quiet farts where you're like, I got away with it, and then she went up to get out of bed, and she was like, oh god, like it was like World War I on no man's land. It just came rolling out.
So can I hear him again?
The Great Boar, Martin Van Ruin, the Little Magician, or the Careful Dutchman.
All these names suck, but I'd have to. I'm gonna go.
You know, if Tom was a political satirist during the era of Martin Van Buren, he would have called him
Boo.
called him curly white cunt pants or whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna go A.
Okay, Samir.
Yeah, the Great Boar. Yeah, what was it?
Wait, what? Oh, the Great Boar. Yeah.
Wait, that was A?
Yeah.
What was B?
B was Martin Van Ruin.
I'm gonna go B. I don't think people back then were that
That is a
clever.
drag queen that I've seen several times. Very
Calvin Coolidge was apparently also very bored, and when he died, somebody told Dorothy Parker about it, and she said, "How can they tell?"
Who
And
are
that was
these
one of the-
people?
That was a question I was afraid to ask. Who is Dorothy Parker?
She
Wizard
was
of
what,
Oz?
She was what like everybody says F. Scott Fitzgerald was, like the great writer of the 20s. She was a bitch and a cunt, and she was so good. She woke up once from
Remind you of anyone?
Aw, thanks, man.
She woke.
No, I did not Dunson a cunt.
She woke up. This is according to Truman Capote and like semi-fictionalized. We don't know.
Samir, you're 22. How are you also 75 years old?
the best thing about this
But she
is
woke up after a suicide attempt, allegedly, and said, if I don't stop doing this, I'm going to hurt myself one of these days.
I love you because
I
this
might have
subject
said that
matter.
one time too.
This subject matter is just so boring to me, but you're just so endlessly entertaining. It's like I'm learning.
Oh,
about you
it's
shoving it in cheese and just force feeding it. To
It's
me.
extremely interesting to me. This is like a you know a people's Kathy Griffin is what what it really is.
If only I could find a head to swing around.
I feel like you swung around a lot of head though. Like blowjobs, everybody. Right?
Little Magician.
the fake one is the
She
Great
was
Boar.
just trying to accessorize like Jackie Kennedy with the Chanel suit.
I didn't think people were that clever back then. Good for them.
The Great Boar is not.
Is the
No,
is the
no,
fake
no, no,
one?
no. That's a
Yeah,
fake
it's the
one.
fake one. It's the Great Boar.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, because it's boring.
What are
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming out to see me for the last time in Indiana. No, I'm kidding.
I'll let you know when I'm back there.
So hurtful. Round
That
number
wasn't
4.
an insult.
I don't. I don't know what anything is anymore. We have two
Time
more
is
questions.
12:52.
Yes. I drove from Albuquerque, New Mexico today. Round number 4. A, Bullshit Johnson for Lyndon B. Johnson. B, 10 Cent Jimmy for James Buchanan. C, The Ancient One for Abraham Lincoln. Or D, Hardline General for Ulysses S. Grant.
Okay,
I mean, 10 Cent Jimmy also sounds like a bargain slave.
Jesus.
Hey, I mean, sorry. I
10 Cent Jimmy, I've definitely been with.
I'm gonna say the Ancient One because I think that was a nickname, but only in that movie where Abraham Lincoln was a vampire.
This is a surprisingly cogent theory.
Hardline sounds very modern as a phrase. Hardline general. I don't know. Yeah, I'll go with the Ancient One, too. Because, again, that just seems kind of boring. Like, why bother coming up with a nickname if that's the nickname you come up with?
Yeah, no.
Also,
I mean,
he wasn't always old.
there's not a lot to it.
I mean, he's older.
I think
today.
he always looked old is the thing. Is what I imagine it'd be getting at if it was real, which I don't
Maybe.
know.
I'm going to say Bullshit Johnson.
All right, the fake one. The Hardline General, Ulysses S. Grant.
Oh! I should have gone with my instinct.
Was he the Southern general?
No, Tom.
Which one was he?
No, Tom.
How funny would it be if after the Civil War, like, you know what, let's let Robert E. Lee be president.
Why not? Oh, that's right. These are all presidents eventually.
Yeah. My favorite hobby is being frustrated by Tom, and you've just set a new high score. Put your initials in, buddy. You've done it.
Thank you.
Number 5, the last one. All real or all fake. Rutherford for Rutherford B. Hayes.
All real or all fake?
Yeah,
Okay.
these are okay. B. Walrus for Chester A. Arthur. C. Uncle Jumbo for Grover Cleveland. What a tremendous thing. See, that's what you want to go. The hardline general. Yeah, no, you want Uncle Jumbo. Or D. Big Lub, William Howard Taft.
Big love. Aww.
These are all like the movie Seth Rogen would have starred in if they had him at that time. Uncle Jumbo. Uncle Jumbo's has the best popcorn shrimp in all of Louisiana. I don't care what anyone says.
Big Lub also sounds like a deaf person trying to describe that Bill Paxton Mormon show.
He was Big Love.
I don't know who Bill Paxton is.
He's dead. Don't worry.
What I like about Samir is that he's endured enough hardship in life that he just has decided he has diplomatic immunity on offending people.
I am Teddy Kennedy driving this podcast off a bridge.
Chap a dick in my butt, I guess. I don't know. It could have been better. It's late.
I'm having fun. I just don't understand. Yeah. Anyway.
No, I'm having fun, Tom. But I'm sorry for being so mad. I'm being only mad in sport. I assure you, I'm fine.
That was the peacekeeping air raid siren.
All real or all fake?
I'm going to say all real just because I want it to.
Smear.
Yeah, all real. Yeah, wishfully.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm almost 100% sure it's all real. Here's why, okay? Connor laughed at one of the names. He didn't write it himself, so he's not laughing at his own wittiness, which means that it would have to be true to really get a chuckle from the con man himself. Deduce me, detective. Am I correct?
You're really underselling the right.
I'm going to lie to you just because I don't want you to have the satisfaction of having slipped on an oil slick and fallen into the correct answer when you had a 50-50 shot, but those are all real.
Correct, Watson.
Oh, well, congratulations, Uncle Jumbo. That is the Mean Boys podcast for this week, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us and for helping us get an episode out on our nation's anniversary or whatever, or half birthday.
Oh, it's July 4th.
Yes.
Hence the president's.
Yeah. Well, it's confusing because in Echo Park there's fireworks 365 days a year.
I knew that. I forgot.
Tight. Okay. I appreciate it. You were a lot of fun. I'm sorry this is a little all over the place. Listeners, I'm sorry, but I hope you enjoyed it. You guys were fucking awesome. I love you. This week, if you want to come see me this Thursday, I'm at the Ha Ha Cafe in North Hollywood, and then Friday and Saturday, I'll be at the Madhouse in beautiful sunny San Diego. And on the 9th, I'll be at Verdugo Bar in Glassell Park for Mr. Pat Barker's show, friend of the podcast. From what I hear, that is nothing but fun.
Show.
So please, if you're in the area, come check me out. I'd love to see you so that you too can send in a game for us to butcher in a tired haze.
Love you guys.
Matt Baimel?
All right, so if you folks in Oklahoma want another smug twink to yell at you, I will be in Tulsa at the Looney Bin July 19th through the 22nd, and I will be headlining Harvell's on July 25th, headlining The Ranch in San Miguel on the 26th, headlining Underground Comedy in San Luis Obispo on the 27th, headlining Barmageddon on the 28th, headlining DeCiso's on the 29th, and headlining Greg's Irish Pub in Clovis on the 30th. A lot of shows that you actually got me on, Connor, so thank you.
Yeah, those are all very good shows except for one, and I won't name it.
Hey. When I'm headlining, they're all not going to be good.
Fantastic. Yeah, go see that.
All right, I'm Samir Suri. This Thursday, July 6th, will be doing...
self-promotion. It's time to shine.
We'll be doing stand-up at Outpost. And then the next week, I will be at Pizza, Beer, and Wings in Los Angeles on July 13th. Then I will be doing, on July 15th, stand-up at a house at 1405 North Hudson Avenue.
I also love how everywhere, like anyone on the show performs, hot sauce is somehow involved in the venue.
Yes.
Can't eat hot sauce anymore.
I'm sorry, Tom. I should have been more patient with you, considering you've escaped death.
Thank you, sir. You can follow me on Twitter, GossGoss6, Twitter and Instagram. And I don't really have any shows this month. Next month San Diego, I'll be towards you, but I'll announce that later. So yeah, thank you, people.
Fuck everything.
God is dead.
Crazy shit, crazy shit, crazy. Oh, shit, crazy 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 shit.